All right, welcome in everyone. I'm Peter Ryman, Director of Instruction at Marshfield Country Club. This is another episode of the Student of the Week, and this week we're looking at Tom Devane. Tom's going to help us all understand the concept of swing plane a little bit better. Now, I think a lot of us, when we focus on trying to cure a left to right ball or a slice and struggle with longer clubs, we typically just think about swing path and trying to path our club a little bit more inside to out towards right field. And that's really not the only thing you need to think about. You also really need to work hard and understand swing plane. And that starts with an understanding of wrist conditions in transition, and how you're maneuvering the club with your wrists. So Tom is an example of a guy, he's got a great move and he hits a good golf ball. He just struggles a little bit with some of the longer clubs because he puts his club on a plane that is a little bit too vertical. So if we look on the bottom frame here, you'll notice that his club points inside the ball. When he gets to the 9 o'clock position where his left arm is parallel to ground in the downswing. Because of that, he needs to then work his hands out quite a bit in his downswing, and his hands get well out from under his shoulder line as he gets towards the bottom. Now, so this is a more upright, vertical plane of attack, and that can work with some short clubs, but as we get into the longer clubs, that doesn't really work quite as well, because a long club, if you think about it, sits on a flatter plane at address. Now he's, I think, swinging a 7-iron here, so here's his plane at address on that bottom frame. If he was swinging a driver, the ball would be further away because the club is longer, and that plane would be a little bit more along this line, folks. So when you start to swing a longer club, it necessitates a flatter swing plane because of that. So Tom, in this top frame, is working a lie where the ball is above his feet. And just the basic nature of that lie is it then kind of curates a flatter plane right off the bat at address. And then it forces a move where he gets to, the top now. And then in transition, you'll notice, if we just sort of compare top frame and bottom frame, where that angle of that club is, you'll notice that it creates a much flatter plane for Tom, just out of necessity. Doesn't even have to think about it. And I love drills like this, and I love working off uneven lies, because it forces you to make an athletic move, and it forces something good to happen. Assuming you're working out of a lie that is correct for what your swing area is, it forces you to make a move that's a little bit better. And in Tom's case, it forces him to swing the club a little bit flatter and on a more shallow plane in transition. So Tom's making great strides here, and the end result is he's going to have a lot more success with his longer clubs as he gets comfortable creating a more shallow swing plane. And I do want you, before I sign off here, just to take note as well. I'm going to zoom in, but a big part of, creating the appropriate plane is taking a look at what exactly, are the wrists doing, and what exactly is the trail elbow doing as well. And you'll notice that Tom's wrists in the top frame are a little bit flatter, and they're slightly more cupped in the bottom frame. And you also might notice that his right elbow in the top frame points a little bit more to the ground, and in the bottom frame points a little bit more behind him. So if you want to swing it flatter, you need to create a little bit more bow or flatness in the lead left wrist, and you need to point your trail elbow to the ground. Okay? So if you work with me and you come to me with a slice, I can guarantee you are probably going to need a little bit of adjustment with your wrist conditions and what your trail elbow is doing. So anyways, that's it. Tom's making great progress here, though, in terms of getting his club on a better plane, getting away from being steep. He's going to have success with his long clubs because of that. And if you're like Tom and you struggle with longer clubs, or you might even see a left to right ball, you want to get rid of it, I highly recommend you get comfortable hitting a ball that is above your feet off this side hill lie, just like he's doing right here. So signing off, until next time, I will see y'all soon. Take care.